Carrie here with another episode of Go Bud Yourself. And in this season, we are taking Fridays to dive deep into special topics that people are extra interested in, mostly to dispel the FUD, but also to get rid of some of the hype in case you think something is overly exciting. So I am excited today to present Emily Landon, the crypto recruiter. Emily, I've been following you on LinkedIn for a couple of years now. How long have you been recruiting for?
7, 8 years now in total, but in crypto the last 4 years. So we were actually the first woman-owned crypto recruiting firm in the world. And we're one of the oldest now, and it's kind of funny. We've actually made more placements than some of our competitors that are older than us. And I'm kind of like, guys, what are you doing?
Get it together. Are you mostly working with big crypto business? Do you work with startups? What kind of clients do you typically have?
Yeah, I mainly work with startups, specifically because I'm very thoughtful in the companies that I work with. So I have a great talent pool and I want to provide great opportunities. So I'm looking for companies that have, great cultures, growth opportunities. They're healthy, they're stable, they're well funded. But, most importantly, I'm looking for excellent leadership because you quit a boss, not a job. So that being said, when it comes to the big companies, I've heard way too many mixed reviews. I get, I talk to everybody. So I get candidates that are really unhappy. I get candidates that are super happy. So it depends on the team, but I feel more comfortable supporting startups.
Awesome. That I think puts you in the ideal space to talk about what's going on in DeFi jobs right now. So today we are going to cover some news, but we'll take a little bit of a deeper look at some of the experiences that you've had and find out if this news is all kind of hypey, if it's just trying to make us feel bad, or if we should be worried. So we will talk about scams, malware. Is your crypto job that you started a scam? And we'll also move into layoffs. There's been some pretty big tech layoffs already in 2024, and we're only in month 2. But I think one of the biggest topics that we'll cover today is normies moving into the crypto space and how that might impact people who've been working in crypto for some time.
Yeah. So I will say that people that have been working in crypto for a long time or even a short time have a leg up on normies, right? So people want to hire those that understand the community. They get the technology, and though giving someone that's not in the industry an opportunity is great, they sometimes need some ramp up time, and companies really aren't able to do that. So when it comes to being a normie, I think the easiest way to get into crypto is to network your way in. It really is all about who you know. So if you don't have the skills that are required, let's at least have the personality that's required and know the right people. So I think that's one thing that's different about crypto is it's a very specific culture, very specific personality type that's successful in this industry. And it's people that are very hardworking, don't necessarily value work-life balance, are very technical, usually very direct, but also good vibes.
Well, if people want to meet and greet and have all of those contacts, ETH Denver is coming up. You're going to ETH Denver, right?
Oh my God, I know. I'm bringing Bubs with me to ETH Denver. So he can't stay alone by himself. So he's coming along. And yeah, I'm bringing 5 women with me. So the joke is that there's no women at ETH Denver. Just wait. I'm taking care of
it. Thank you for your service. All right, let's jump in. Such a vibe. Okay,
good intro.
Let's talk about scams, job scams. The first one that I want to talk about today is called Overstealer because it's hot in the news right now. Have you heard of this?
I have lately.
Yeah, have these people targeted anyone that you're kind of working with? Do you ever get targeted by malware job scams?
So it's interesting. I actually have, specifically with a client. So I was speaking with this company. I was speaking with this company on Telegram. They wanted to jump on a Zoom. I sent them a Zoom link. They were like, it's not working. So they sent me a Zoom link. When I clicked on the link, it started to download things on my computer. I have to have, really, really intense antivirus software because I do open people's resumes. But I think that's something that's up and coming is embedding malware in resumes for hiring managers to open. So what I love is on LinkedIn, you can actually do a preview of a resume. You don't even have to download it to be able to view it, which makes my life a lot more secure. But something that really frustrates me is on my LinkedIn page, I have a bunch of people that are associated, that are LinkedIn members, right? When you're not connected with someone, it says LinkedIn member. So I have a lot of people that are attached to my company that don't work for me. And they're based around the world. And I have to contact LinkedIn all the time. I'm like, yo, guys, like people are probably actively representing my brand, going to people saying, hey, I've got a job for you. So like it's every week I have to reach out to LinkedIn, and these guys or these girls, like they just flock to our brand. So I'm always making sure that, I'm introducing the team, I'm talking about the team, I'm tagging the team. But like there have been some people that like straight up, even in the US, that have put their company or put their name on my company. And I've been like, take your name off my company or I will move forward. And what's interesting is if you do contact LinkedIn about a fake profile on your company page, they will shut that down. They will shut that profile. Oh yeah, absolutely. So don't fake your employment. Your profile could be shut down. And yeah, I see it all the time.
There seems to be so many scams. So Overstealer is kind of the hot one in the news. So I do want to touch on it a little bit. Basically, this is coming through fake Facebook ads, but it's exactly what you talked about. They send you a PDF, you go to open the PDF, it downloads some malware. This one in particular is masquerading as a OneDrive file. And I wonder if that's kind of predatory because most crypto people think someone using a OneDrive file doesn't know what they're doing. But so we're like, okay, I can click on that. Seems like they wouldn't have an idea. But in reality, it's stealing documents, which a lot of people hide their passwords or their wallet addresses or that kind of stuff in. So this is a pretty big deal because it's not specifically targeting you and your job, but it's saying, hey, you're interested enough in crypto that you probably have information I want, which is a pretty straightforward way to do that. I'm not surprised that this is happening, but it does seem to be a really big deal. And like you say, they can misrepresent someone like yourselves, like the crypto recruiters, but they can also be misrepresenting a large name like Kraken, because probably the HR talent at Kraken isn't going on LinkedIn every day and checking out who's doing that. But another big scam that we've been seeing is people faking TG accounts, right? Telegram accounts.
I know.
Oh my God.
Or Discord accounts. I can't do any recruiting on Discord because no one believes who I am. And it's like, well, here's my LinkedIn link and they don't want to click on it. Makes sense. But yeah, I mean, there's so many scams going on online right now when it comes to crypto jobs. Yeah, especially Telegram. People are getting a lot of reach outs. They're posting jobs in Telegram groups. So I'm a moderator for a Off-Chain Global's Telegram group. We've got about 2,000 to 5,000 people in the group. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but like I go through that all the time and I'm just deleting posts left and right. So yeah, Telegram scams, real thing.
I've been tricked on Telegram into thinking I was talking to, say, my boss, and that makes me sound like an idiot. Maybe I am. But after a couple of messages, you're like, oh, wait, no, hold on. This is not the right tone. This isn't the right look. But they've copied the name and added some sort of like character that you didn't notice right away. They've copied the profile pic. So I also wonder how many people are just posing on LinkedIn as a legitimate person. Have you ever been doppelgangered?
Absolutely I have. Absolutely I have. So not necessarily someone pretending to be me, but someone pretending to be a colleague of mine, not just like a fake profile, but not like a random profile based in India, but like an actual profile of someone trying to be one of my team members. I don't want to call them out. But yes, we have had people impersonate, and that's what I love about the verification on LinkedIn. You can actually verify your ID on the back end of LinkedIn, and then you get this little badge that shows you're a real person. And I think that, that's really helpful because there are so many fake LinkedIn profiles. I mean, I'll tell you right now, hold on. Let me tell you how many people are on my LinkedIn page.
Love it.
I mean, it's like, I feel so passionate about this and it makes me so angry because it's just like, what are you guys doing under our name? And being the crypto recruiters, it holds some weight. We've got a good brand reputation. So yeah, so on LinkedIn, I have 43 employees. I actually only have 22.
Oh my gosh. That's wild.
Yeah. So
some reporting to do today.
Yeah, I got a lot of work to do here with LinkedIn. So I just wish they had a setting, and they do for the larger corporations, a setting where you have to verify your email that you work at the company. And if you don't have that email domain, you can't attach your name to the company. So
Mhm, mhm.
pushing for that. But yeah, we've got 20
Almost
people.
double. That's wild. So I was just thinking about compensation as well. When you start working at a crypto firm, you often provide your wallet address because that's how
Mhm.
you're going to get paid, especially if you get a token bump or you get a bonus or anything like that. I know that when I started in crypto, I moved from a very normie job into my DGen job during DGen summer. It was very exciting, but I had to have my own laptop, and I didn't know if the company I was working for was real, so I just borrowed a laptop for the first month until I got paid. But I'm
Okay.
thinking about that wallet address, right? You share that wallet address with somebody expecting to get paid. And next thing you know, your whole job has been a scam and you've gotten drained. Have you seen anything that's like that high level, or where people actually start working for a scam?
No, I have. I see it in different Telegram chats. I've had people reach out to me directly. So it was interesting. There was this woman, Diane. A company had reached out to her about an opportunity, and she reached out to me and said, "Hey, Emily, do you like working with this company?" And I'm like, "I have no idea what you're talking about. I've never heard of this company before." They had written a fake review from me on their website, a
Wow.
fake review. So people were coming to me and saying like, "Hey, so anyway, the biggest scam is when someone asks you to pay. So if someone's like, "You need to give me $500 so I can send you a laptop,"
Mhm.
instant scam. So that's one of the things to watch out for, definitely.
Absolutely. Well, to kind of wrap up on fraud, I just want to say that it is a really big problem that even governments are taking note of. So I'm in Canada, so I get special Canada news. But the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center has recently started a crypto function, a crypto division. We have the RCMP have a crypto division. It's pretty big deal here. But just in crypto job scams alone, 32,000 reports of fraud for crypto job scams were reported in Canada last year,
I believe it.
stealing over $283 million. And that's pretty major for a country with a fairly small population. So this is no joke. And I have to say that this is maybe one great reason to go through a recruiter. I didn't really mean for this to be a shill for you, but as we're talking about it, I'm like, man, all of this could have been avoided if if they didn't just
Well,
get contacted on Telegram.
to be fair, there are a lot of fake recruiters out there too. And what frustrates me is, they're representing these companies. It's just, there's a lot of fake recruiters. So all I'm saying is like verify. Look at their LinkedIn profile. Are they verified on LinkedIn? Do they have LinkedIn recommendations? Are they posting on LinkedIn? What does their picture look like? So vet your recruiter. And additionally, you want to make sure that the person that's representing you is got a great reputation. Because if I'm a recruiter that doesn't have a good reputation, I'm going to a company, I'm presenting your resume, they're less likely to consider your resume because they don't like me as
Yeah.
a recruiter. You know what I mean? So there was a ton of shade on LinkedIn yesterday, from two recruiters just like going at it. And I had a candidate was like, telling me he was working with him. And I'm like, listen, you need to see this before you let him represent you, because companies are seeing that, clients are seeing that. So make sure the recruiter that's representing you is quality, because then they're going to bring you quality opportunities, but they're also going to present your resume in the best light.
Bit of a segue from quality. Did you see that we have a lot of big names joining crypto now? So, for example, the JP Morgan executive has joined GSR.
Yep.
This is a
Yep.
pretty big deal. I think we're getting a lot of attention. Crypto is pretty legitimate. ETFs have been passed. People are seeing these as real financial jobs right now, but that means that we are getting a huge influx of regular bankers
Mhm.
or, normies, muggles. I don't know what we're allowed to call people, but
Amazing.
but what does this mean for those who are already working in crypto? Should people who work at GSR be worried that they're going to be bumped for other JP Morgan employees? Like, what does that look like?
No, absolutely not. No, if you're in the space, the likelihood of you being replaced with someone that doesn't have crypto experience, I'd say 1%. 1%, if that. Again, people just really need people that are in the space and passionate about the space, because passion pushes us forward. So
Right.
I think there is a large population that's interested in crypto, but not necessarily fully dedicated to it. And I
Okay.
talked to a lot of these job seekers, and they're like, could go into crypto, could go into TradFi. And it's like, no, you got to make a decision, because crypto is like a full-time job just looking for a crypto job.
Absolutely.
You have to have a very specific resume. You have to have the right keywords on your resume. So when candidates come to me and they say they're mixed, I'm like, we got to get on one side or the other, because people are going to see that, and they want people that are like 100% in the space.
Well, I mean, BitGet, which is huge, they've been around since 2018. They say that over about a third of applicants they're getting now are from traditional banking. That's a really big shift, I think, especially because banking has had such a big revenue drop, especially in the States in the last couple of years. Huge layoffs, banks closing and needing bailouts, that kind of thing. And from 2020 to 2023, the banking sector dropped 70,000 jobs in the States. So that's 70,000 very qualified financial professionals who maybe haven't been into crypto, but can walk the financial walk as people try to get regulated, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they'll have more luck at crypto companies than blockchain companies because of the transferable skills in those companies. But yeah, no, I mean, we're seeing a huge influx. But again, without having that experience, it makes it a little bit tougher. But that's where working with a recruiter is great, because we can advocate for your experience. I can say, whoa, he doesn't have the crypto, she doesn't have the crypto experience, but here's what he does have. I'm struggling with this. Here's what they do have, and the transferable skills. So I think if you don't have that experience, working with a recruiter is really beneficial. But again, like, people that have that experience, always a leg up. So I'm always talking to people about like starting their own projects, right? And then putting that experience at the top of their resume, projects, then fill that out. And then at the bottom, experience. So that way they see crypto first.
Another thing that's a bit tricky here is, at least from my perspective, working in DeFi, that sort of thing, is we get people from all over the world. Sometimes we have anon employees, right? Like, they can prove their social status on chain if they work at Metis or something like that. But now some areas of the world, South Korea's in the news this week, is actually forcing executives specifically to be personally approved by the Financial Services Commission before they can work for a blockchain or a crypto company. So I wonder too how this is going to change who's allowed here, and how that might change the marketplace as well.
Yeah, I don't have many thoughts on that quite yet. I'm interested to see what happens. I think it's a very unique ask. I don't think they'll implement that here in the United States, but it's definitely interesting. So we're going to see how that affects. Side note, quick shill. The Crypto Recruiters opened an APAC branch. So we've got boots on the ground in Hong Kong. So we're slowly taking over globally. So we are planning on working with, various countries in that area. So it'll be interesting. We'll see.
So on this topic, we have all of these big banking executives moving over. We have people from really standard roles moving into crypto. Do you think that formal training is going to become more important in crypto?
No, actually, no, because I think that it's all going to be self-taught training. Going back to that passion, like, how much time do you spend researching crypto every day? I'm like 1 to 2 hours minimally a day. You know what I mean?
At minimum, yeah.
Yeah.
Also define research. Like, do I sit down and do actual research? Yeah, probably about 2 hours. And then I also later am going to like scroll TikTok and check my portfolio and check out that new project and all that kind of stuff too, right?
I think certifications will become more popular. They're popular already, but like, a certification isn't going to get you the job. It's going to separate your resume apart from the crowd. But I think if you were to do a certification internal with a company, that's just going to bring you up a little more to speed. But again, you do really have to be extremely passionate about this space to keep up. Because if you miss a week, it's all over. Yeah, it's over.
Yeah. So you did work in other fields before you moved into crypto. Did you find that crypto credentials took longer to establish? Because where I'm coming at from this is I used to work for a post-secondary. And so we were always looking for the latest, greatest emerging technology. What could we badge? What could we carry on as continuing education, right? And it was really quick and easy to make a course for virtual reality, but it was really hard to make a course for crypto. So especially, I think, because it is moving, even if you put some sort of course together, the bureaucracy itself, it's going to take too long long to release that course before it's all irrelevant. So, but now we see that you can take a master's in smart contracts. You can take a master's in ethics and blockchain, that kind of thing. Did you find that that took longer to establish?
I thought it was pretty quick, honestly. Like I thought, you know, once people showed like a heavy interest in it, I feel like it was really quick. You know, almost every college has a student blockchain council. You know, there's groups popping up left and right. There's more networking events in the United States than I know what to do with. You know, there's a conference every other day. Did that answer your question? I feel like I went on a little bit.
No, I think so. I think that's a good answer. Okay, before we move on from this, do you recommend any specific formal training for someone who's looking to break into crypto? So not for those of us who have shilled our own meme tokens, but but for someone who's pretty new here, or if they're trying to make that leap from traditional banking into crypto, is there something that they should learn or focus on?
So there is a great certification program called C4. They offered the certified Bitcoin professional and the certified Ethereum professional. I think these are great places to start. The previous CFO of, oh my God, Binance US, the previous CEO of Binance US had the certified Bitcoin professional. Okay. I've taken the courses. I think they're great. I wouldn't recommend them if I haven't taken them. So I think it's a great place for fundamentals, even getting a little more high level. But again, a certification isn't going to get you the job. It's going to separate your resume from the crowd. So if I look at two resumes, both from financial services, one of them has a crypto certification, the other does not. They've got similar backgrounds. Who do you think I'm calling first? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think this is a good transition into crypto layoffs because we look like we're having all of these people move into crypto, but at the same time, we're seeing huge layoffs. Just last week, Fireblocks, which is a pretty substantial company, they're cutting 3% of their workforce, and it's the beginning of the year. Kind of a big move.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm going to say this. Polygon just did a huge layoff, like wild layoff. You know, I think it's interesting. I think the challenge is these companies grew too quickly. They just grew too fast. They hired too many people. It was too unorganized. And that's what's leading to a lot of layoffs, is because there's a lot of redundancy. So when I talk to founders and I'm working with a lot of startups, I'm always like, you know what, hire slow, fire fast. Right. And there's a natural flow when it comes to hiring, right? You hire this position first, this one next, this one next. But I do think some of these companies got really excited and a lot of, you know, potential, and they definitely went after that, but things slow down, the crypto winter, right? And yeah, so I don't think we're done seeing layoffs, but layoffs are great for me, because then I've got new candidates. So
new candidates, but where are they going? Which I guess is my concern. So in 2022, we had just over 160,000 layoffs in America in tech workers. In 2023, it was over 260,000, so almost 100,000 more. And then this year, in 2024, we've already had over 32,000 layoffs in the tech sector. So that's not crypto specific. That is in the tech sector, but crypto job postings, which there are a lot of places to pull crypto job postings from, so I would take this with a grain of salt. But crypto job postings are supposedly 60% down from last year. So where are these people going?
Yeah, well,
I can tell you, like, bankers, where are all of our degens going?
A lot of people are starting their own companies. Like a lot of people are starting their own companies. In my experience recently, this month alone, I have seen more job postings this month alone than I saw last quarter.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my whole feed on LinkedIn is just jobs, 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 jobs. And I like to comment with the hashtag hiring, or I'll comment on the jobs so that way my network can see it. But I'm seeing a lot of
traction. That is your algorithm. I would hope that you're inundated with jobs, but
that is also true.
Yeah, I just wonder where the OGs are going to go. Like you say, I think that they are starting organizations, but that's going to become more difficult with regulatory requirements, I suppose. With that in mind, do you see a lot of crypto candidates moving from role to role, but staying in crypto, or are you mostly dealing with new entrants?
I see a lot of candidates moving in crypto. You know, the goal is you want to be at a company for minimally a year, ideally 2 to 3. There's a saying, which is like, you know, if you're there a year, you really haven't even touched the surface, right? So I think, moving around can definitely be a red flag for hiring managers because they do want people that are long-term fits. And especially with developers, it can be concerning because it's like they come from a great project, they left a year later. Did they have time to learn all the technologies, all the infrastructure? So going back to your original question, where are these people going? I know they're starting their own projects, but I also know they're going back to TradFi, right? If someone can't find a job in crypto, that's what they're going back to. And it's okay. It's okay to take a break from this industry, stay up to date, but it's okay to take a step back. Everybody needs a job. We got to do what we got to do. And if crypto's not the place, let's explore other avenues, right? And I think that every company is going to touch blockchain at some point.
Absolutely.
Right. So if you can get in early and you can advise about how the business can move forward into blockchain, I think that's going to be something as well. So I do think there's a lot of people that are going to be on emerging technology, but also there's a lot of blockchain people moving into AI. I'm sure you've heard all the AI experts on LinkedIn that used to be crypto experts. So I'm seeing a lot of that. A lot of people move into AI. But also fintech is hot, TradFi is hot. I mean, it's wherever you can find your home.
Good point about finding your home. Do you think that the physical location is starting to play a factor in some of these crypto jobs?
Yeah, absolutely. I have had more requests for in-person or hybrid roles than I had the entire year of 2023. The entire year. So companies they want hybrid, they want to foster cultures, they want to foster teamwork and collaboration, which I totally understand. I worry that I would say about 90% of the people I talk to, they just want fully remote. And if they're going into an office, they want to hike up that pay, right? To now compensate for travel, and the loss of work, right? When you work remote, you get an extra 2 hours of your day minimally, right? Saving you from commuting and making a lunch and all this fun stuff. So personally, I wish more companies would stay remote. I understand the benefits of going hybrid, but like the crypto recruiters, we will always be remote. We're a very tight knit team. We work very well together. And crypto is decentralized. I also think that, when you have a hybrid environment or a fully remote environment, it allows you to hire internationally. And I think hiring internationally is so important because it means someone is always online working to achieve company goals. So if you were to really limit your team to being in one location, you're also shutting down after 8 p.m.,
And you get access to so much talent if you hire internationally. Some of our best devs are Finnish. Like,
yeah,
they live, obviously. One of the difficulties with these in-person or even hybrid roles, though, that I've personally noticed is a lot of them are in the epicenters of cities. And I'm not saying that that's a bad place to be, but it does cost a lot more. So now they're looking at real estate cost, but also your employees need a higher amount of money because their cost of living is higher, right? New York, San Francisco, I've seen a lot of LA lately, and I've seen so much New York, so much New York. Who can afford to live in New York? Who's moving there, right? If you find this top talent, you're going to move them there. What does that even look like for them? We sometimes have the wallet guard guys on, and they went old school. They rented a whole house together, and all of their first employees live in the house together. It's very Chad. I love it. But that's in Austin, Texas, and that place isn't even wildly near the cost of living of somewhere like New York.
Yeah, Austin is definitely a crypto hub. I've been to Austin twice for Consensus. I've really enjoyed it. I don't get a lot of requests for in-person in Austin specifically. I get a lot of requests for LA, San Francisco, and New York. Yeah, I mean, I get it, right? People want collaboration, but I also think that with the right management team, you can stay remote.
So we've talked about crypto scams. We've talked about crypto layoffs. We've talked about crypto talent, crypto certifications. We've talked a little bit about compensation. We've talked about distributed roles. We have really covered the gambit here. Before we go, do you have any kind of last words for those who are watching, whether they're trying to get into or stay in their crypto role?
Yeah. So networking is key. If you're looking for a crypto role, go on LinkedIn, send out 100 connection requests a week, have conversations. But when you start to network, make it about them, not about you, because everybody wants to talk. Everybody loves to talk about themselves, but the other person, you're taking their time. So you have to give them a reason to give, you know, for them to give you their time. And if you make it about them, they're more likely to do that. Have a resume. It never hurts. Sometimes you don't need a resume, especially when you're networking your way into a job. But I think having a resume, putting down on paper all of your achievements is critical. There's a very specific format. I am posting on Monday. What is Monday? The
12th.
Monday the 12th. Monday the 12th, I'm posting a guide on resumes on LinkedIn, on like step-by-step, what needs to be there, what doesn't need to be there, and a funny video per usual. So yeah, that's what I would say is, hold on one second, I gotta end this. Sorry. It's crazy. I'm like, we're moving. But yeah, make sure you have a resume, make sure it's formatted correctly. If you need any help, we do resume audits, happy to help with that. But just come correct. You get one chance. Crypto's a small world. People talk. So that's
sure do. Emily, thank you so much for joining us. It was a real pleasure to have the Crypto Recruiter on. Obviously, if people want to find you, they can find you on LinkedIn, Twitter, Telegram, not Discord, as we talked about. I'll pop those links into the YouTube description so that it's easy for people to find you. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was a great talk.
Emily, go find yourself.
I will.